Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Bonji Foods YouTube page. Today we're going to be going over why, if you're a restaurant owner, if you're in the restaurant space, really consider raising your menu prices heading into 2022. And if you're just a regular person shopping at grocery stores, or if you have a few favorite restaurants, be aware that these prices are probably going to increase. And you should, if you budget monthly or weekly, you should consider raising those budgets a little bit. But nonetheless, we're going to get into a few products that are commonly held in restaurants, in households, that are going to continue to rise and make adjustments accordingly. So number one, the cost of milk and dairy products are going to rise pretty substantially heading into 2022. Couple reasons why. The Canadian Dairy Commission has already released that they're going to be raising prices by 8%, a little over 8%. European Dairy Commission has said it's the lowest output in the last 5 years. So thinking about how this is going to affect, maybe if you grab a bagel every morning, bagel places are going to have to adjust their prices, increase a little bit for cream cheese. So there's a cream cheese shortage. Kraft's literally paying people to buy cream cheese alternatives. So, it's a crazy time out there, but you have to be aware of that and you have to adjust accordingly, or you're going to get trampled. And if you do adjust, well, now you have some breathing room and you could relax a little bit because you're aware of this. So we're just trying to bring awareness to you and hopefully protect you from any being blindsided. So dairy's going up, right? If you put dairy in your coffee, it's going to be a little bit more of a pricier morning for you. So be aware of that. Number two, wheat production is really struggling, and prices are going to increase pretty substantially as well. The output for wheat this past year and heading into 2022 is expected to fall by 10%. It's the smallest crop in over 20 years. So, that's pretty bananas if you think about it. And speaking of bananas have been the most stable price of produce in the last 20 years, 50 years. It's crazy how, if you look at a graph, it's pretty straight. There's really no fluctuation in pricing. The prices have probably increased 14%. If you look on Google, it probably says between 3 and 5%, but in reality, it's probably closer to the double digits for bananas. So wheat hasn't really changed much, but really expect costs of bread, pasta, all of the wheat products to increase pretty noticeably heading into 2022. And last but not least, gas prices. If you watch any news or politics, they're really putting pressure on oil producers to increase production, increase output, so they could lower the prices again of gas. However, a lot of major companies and executives in those companies have come out and said, we're hesitant to increase our production and output because we're not really sure if with the coronavirus, if people are going to be traveling as much and on the road as much. So they're a little skeptical of increasing the output, which may lead to seeing the prices of gas and oil stay the same, if not increase a little bit. And what that means, if you're just a regular person driving, adjust your budget again, to the gas prices. We were kind of blindsided this past year. Heading into the next year, I wouldn't be shocked if they stay the same or go up. So, be conscious of that. And then for supply chain, this has a major impact on supply chain, right? So, distributors selling to grocery stores and restaurants have tried to absorb their costs over the last year, thinking that it'll fix itself and go back to what it was in prior to the pandemic. But I think everyone took a major hit this past year, so they're gonna start increasing their prices to the supermarkets and to the restaurants and forcing then the restaurants to increase their prices. That trickle down effect to higher prices throughout the supply chain. So be aware of those prices and budget accordingly. And if you're a restaurant owner, don't increase prices unjustly, but also kind of take a deep breath, look at the macro, look at the big picture, and see, hey, where can we save on pricing, and where are we going to have to increase menu prices, just so we can stay in business and keep paying our employees and supporting yourselves. Because at the end of the day, the restaurant industry provides tremendous value and entertainment and comfort to people throughout the country, and it's a vital part of our world and our everyday lives. So if you're not in the restaurant industry, be really conscious of, hey, these restaurants are doing their best to stay in business and keep providing great meals and a great space to hang out and enjoy the company of our loved ones, and don't beat them up too much for having to adjust with these challenging times. So hopefully that helps both the restaurant owners and the customer base enjoying their time.